Hey guys, so this is a kind of a revisiting of Mongol on water. So it's been a few seasons since we touched Mongol water build. I think it was back in season 5 or season 4 that we had kind of done our water build, and one big issue with it now is a lot of the costs have changed, the timing has changed on quite a few things. So it's definitely a little bit of a different ball game now in terms of what you can do with the Mongols on water. More than anything, just like the cost and the spread and like the timing on things has changed a bit for the
I'm gonna
civs.
save this wood here. I'm gonna
Um,
make you a light junk,
you used to
and
be
then I'm
able
going
to
to sell
age
you
up
here.
a little bit faster with our build,
Sell
but
for
now
25
because
wood,
of
and we should be
um,
able to. Yep, there we go. Get another light junk.
fishing
We got
ships
production queued up. We're gonna move our silver tree over here.
production time
So that's
slowdowns,
pretty much the
it's
whole
actually
build.
affected pretty significantly the age up time for the Civ. I was kind of expecting it to not affect it that much, but it affects it actually pretty significantly, which is pretty surprising. I didn't expect it to affect it as much as it does. Um, but yeah, to basically almost match it, you have to pull a lot more villagers now versus what you used to. I used to be able to tap up with 4 villagers and have like a around a 515 age up. But now, if you try to do the exact same build, you're aging up at like 530, 545. So it's much later. It definitely has been affected significantly. So we're kind of compensating this by tapping up with 7 to 8 villagers now to get a sub 5 minute age up. And we are running off of just basically one dock, and the second dock comes up, but you're not producing out of it immediately, um, like we did with our previous build using Silver Tree to kind of balance our eco and then start trading. So um, there is the plus side that you're not using Silver Tree, so you're getting that Deerstone Walk bonus on your wood line, which is pretty significant. It does give it a nice little boost to your eco, but you are losing out on the possibility to increase your villager income or your gold income pretty nicely with silver tree traders kind of popping out here and there. So it has its trade offs. I'm not entirely sure yet whether Deerstones is a better play over over um, silver tree or not. But yeah, we'll kind of figure that out as we go and test this out. But I do think for a Deerstone play, this is definitely the right build. So just to break it down fairly simply, you're gonna take all your vills, rally them onto a straggler tree. Do try to find one that is closest to like a wood line. It's kind of tough to do because there's just so much to do with your opening. If you don't select the right straggler tree, don't like worry about it too much. You can always drop your gur right next to it, and that's probably the right move. Set up your TC, send your con off to go scout, drop his scouting his movement speed arrow, and then pull your one villager from your straggler trees to go build a dock. This is on Baltic, so just to keep that in mind as well. Baltic is kind of like a water map, so it's not like it's a hybrid, but it really plays more like a water map just because the lake is so big. Even if you were to build a barracks, you're not gonna get over there to burn in time, really. So now from there, you're gonna build after rallying 4 villagers onto sheep. You're gonna rally one villager onto wood, and then 3 villagers onto gold, and then you're gonna just rally consistently onto wood. And then you're going to age up with 7 villagers, 4 of the villagers from your sheep, and then 3 of your wood villagers. and then after you age up, 2 of those villagers will go into gold, and the other 5 will go back onto wood. And I do stop producing ships at eight fishing ships, 8 to 9 fishing ships. I think it's 8 to build a second dock and pretty much an immediate light junks and broad axe upgrade on H2. So we'll play it out really quick so you guys can see it. Mm. I'm running tight to the shore here. You don't have to run tight to the shore here. I just kind of like to. Just to get a good read on the shore here, but it's not super necessary. It's kind of a funky spawn here. Not the most ideal situation. We do grab 3 of our villagers here. Those. We do have our dock hockey. Docks now have 2 rally points, which is nice. So I would just scout half the map and go back. Rallying up to 4 villagers on sheep. We have 3 of our villagers over here on the hockey. Get this villager on a closer tree. It is pretty important that your villagers aren't chopping super far trees early because it does early on affect your age up and your timings and all that stuff pretty significant. So we got 3 villagers on sheep. We need 1 more on sheep. Critsicm just kind of run around, do his scouting. Okay, so we got 4 villagers on sheep, so now we're going to rally 1 more villager on the wood. This tree line is kind of funky too, because it's our big tree line, but it's been eaten up a little bit by the shore spawn, so this is actually kind of an unfortunate spawn for us. Okay, so we got 6 villagers on wood now, and now we're going to rally onto gold 3 villagers here. Make sure your dock stays queued up. So we got, this is a 3rd ship and we've got a 4th ship in queue. So we got 4 more ships to queue up basically during our age up. One villager on gold. Need 2 more. Only a 5 sheep on this left side. So Baltic, I mean, I don't know if the ranked ladder version has better sheep spawn, but that's pretty atrocious that this half of the map's only got 5 sheep and the other half's got 15. So just something to keep in mind. So we are up to 3 villagers on gold, so we stop rallying to gold and start rallying onto the wood line here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the build at this point. Now it's pretty easy at this point now. So we'll start rallying to this other pond over here. Just kind of split up our fishing ships a little bit. You don't want all your eggs in one basket here. So we got 6 there, 7, and that's my 8th ship in queue. Go. Let's get this con moving. And then shift Q your villagers building deerstones onto onto the wood line, and then 2 villagers from here onto the gold. I do like to switch my hotkeys here. To my con onto my 4 key, because you're not going to use them a lot, and you can kind of harass your enemy's gold here. And then on upgrade, on age up, you're going to get your light junk out, you're going to get a double broad axe, and from here it's just really dependent on what your opponent does and you reacting properly to your opponent and everything that's going on there. So yeah, it gets to be kind of a free-for-all in that regard. So you can get your piracy early if you're thinking that you're gonna start sinking ships quickly. If you're thinking, oh, he's coming in, he's already, like, you're coming across the map and you see he's got a, you know, a light junk over here already, you're dropping a war junk first. So there's a lot of there's a bit of flexibility in terms of what you can do here and like what the right play is, right? So maybe you get piracy early because you think he's gonna be pushing, like you're gonna get some early kills, or you have a little bit of a ship advantage. You feel like, then you can get that piracy pretty early, right? So there's definitely a lot to be said with like your timings and stuff, and making sure you're like reacting properly here. But one thing I do think that's pretty important with this build and any kind of water build in general is to get your get a third dock up pretty rapidly. So we could drop another dock here, and he'll go to work. And then the idea behind it is that you can basically just keep rallying fishing ships. Try to keep only 3 ships onto a pool at a time, like onto a deep fishing area. With 3, you got plenty. Like, you're not gonna like overfish it really. They're gonna be able to stay on it pretty much always. You can get forestry, it will help a little bit. Do try to get a gur once they start walking this pretty far distance here. We kind of have a pseudo free wheelbarrow. I mean, not completely, right, but it's almost a free wheelbarrow in some regards. Usually when I'm around 20 villagers, I like to pull a couple more villagers onto gold here. You can get specialized pick. It's usually not worth it because you have piracy, so you don't have to really worry about that. But yeah, just focus on getting demos, focus on getting more ships out. And you can see that our food income with just 10 fishing boats and this 1 additional villager on fishing is enough to have our food in a really good spot. So do not overinvest into fishing ships, but do invest into fishing ships, right? You do need to invest in like 1 or 2 more besides that 8, right? And honestly, we're heavy into light junks here. You're probably going to go a little bit heavier onto the springwood ships, the war junks, and more so than your light junks. Forestry is probably worth getting. Wheelbarrow is going to be worth getting as well. Your wheelbarrow you can kind of delay again, just because you've gotten this the Deerstone upgrade, right? But yeah, so that's pretty much the build. Oh, Jesus. Stay at a TC range there, just watching like a dummy. So obviously your opponent's going to have a lot more than this. You're going to have to fight, and it's going to be back and forth. But the big thing is with that 5-minute timing, you're going to be in a lot better spot to kind of like react to your opponent's army when he pushes you. So that's definitely going to help. Something to also make sure you don't forget is your extended lines. Once like like you're gonna get to a point where your wood eco starts to kind of beat out your food income, and that's when getting these fishing lines, extended fishing lines, is gonna really come in handy. Because now it's gonna really boost your food income quite significantly. It's gonna be noticeable, um, and that's something you definitely want. And again, once again, if you start to feel like your gold income is starting to fall back a little bit, you just pull a couple more vills and come over here on the gold. But you should be okay. It really isn't like a big issue. The gold income. It's really more your wood income where you're going to be struggling. Now you can kind of transition onto land, some sort of units, and if you do start transitioning onto land for raids and stuff, that's when you're going to want to queue up some more fishing ships, right? If after you've won the water battle, um, or if you go early on, you can do it too. You can definitely do it too a little bit early, but just make sure that you have won the water battle. You're not under committing onto water, because that can definitely um, affect you pretty badly. But you can see now that our eco is basically just on full go. Here, I like to drop again once you're kind of getting far with your gird. Just drop another one. It's not gonna hurt. It's not an issue. And you can start making cav here if you want. Just start raiding, and just make sure you don't lose your bottom. The big thing with this build is just tempo early on and not losing timing um, on the water. So yeah, the previous build we aged up around 5 minutes, but because of the nerfs to fishing ships and just kind of the changes in costs and stuff like that, it's necessary now not to tap up with 4 villagers, but to tap up with 7 villagers, and kind of just adjust from there. So thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully it comes in handy if you are playing Baltic, and sorry about the little bit of a lull in the games uploads. Rugby season has started up again for me, so just kind of getting used to a training regimen and stuff. I kind of didn't plan out exactly very well my days, so I haven't been able to get a lot of time into play except for a couple nights. It's just like a little bit late, and yeah, just a little bit exhausted. So should be good to go though here for this next week. So thank you again for watching. If you try out the build, let me know how it goes. If you find a certain combo of like holding off on the light junk and maybe opening war junk or double demo or whatever you guys find, definitely post it. I am interested in kind of figuring out what the best kind of transition is. I'm sure it's subjective to what your opponent does, but there might be an opening that is just inherently better because of the rock paper scissors combo. So, or perhaps you guys are aging up with 8, or pulling 1 villager off a gold earlier, or things like that. So yeah, if you try it out, let me know if you guys have any improvements on it, and yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one.